Bethesda's tri-front strategy, Fallout, Starfield, and the Elder Scrolls VI imperative. Bethesda Game Studios is balancing franchise expansion with live service sustainment, but the long-awaited Elder Scrolls VI remains the critical pivot point for their future market positioning. In a rare public roadmap update, Bethesda has confirmed parallel development tracks, additional Fallout content, continued Starfield support, and an unmistakable primary focus on Elder Scrolls VI.
This triage signals a strategic tension between milking established IPs, nurturing a new IP, and delivering the generational sequel that must define the next console cycle. The urgency is amplified by the modding community, a key driver of Bethesda's longevity, which now operates in an ecosystem increasingly influenced by open-source toolchains and artificial intelligence-assisted content creation.
The initial strategic landscape is one of resource allocation, legacy risks, and technological adaptation.
The engine legacy and the open-source undercurrent. Bethesda's proprietary creation engine faces mounting pressure from community-driven alternatives and AI-powered development tools, forcing a reckoning with their historic closed-source approach. The status quo at Bethesda is defined by a creation engine that has been iterated since Morrowind, now stretched to support Starfield's procedural worlds and the rumored Elder Scrolls VI's promised scale.
Meanwhile, independent developers and modders have embraced open-source engines like Godot and Unreal Engine 5, where AI-assisted asset generation and automated testing reduce iteration cycles. This gap creates a so what
moment. Bethesda's roadmap must either integrate these emerging open-source methodologies or risk falling behind in production efficiency. Furthermore, the Linux gaming renaissance driven by Valve's Steam Deck and Proton introduces a new platform priority that Bethesda has only partially acknowledged. Starfield's Steam Deck performance remains inconsistent, and direct memory access DMA exploits in online games pose a growing security headache for live service titles.
AI integration, modding ecosystems, and the RC/DMA threat vector. The intersection of artificial intelligence for content generation, community-driven modding, and remote code execution vulnerabilities creates a complex risk-reward calculus for Bethesda's multi-project pipeline. A deep dive into Bethesda's development mechanics reveals a strategic dichotomy. On one hand, artificial intelligence can accelerate NPC dialogue generation seen in Starfield's procedural quests and procedural terrain design. On the other, the modding community, which has historically extended Bethesda games' lifespans by years, now expects open-source compatible tools and AI-driven quality-of-life plugins.
The real tension, however, lies in security. Remote code execution RC vulnerabilities have plagued Bethesda's online infrastructure.
Fallout 76 is early exploits, and with Starfield's continued live service support and Elder Scrolls VI's inevitable multiplayer component, the attack surface expands. DMA attacks, which bypass traditional anti-cheat by reading system memory directly, could undermine trust in Bethesda's PC ecosystem, especially on Linux, where kernel-level anti-cheat is less common.
The priority on Elder Scrolls VI means Bethesda must retrofit security from the ground up, while simultaneously courting the open-source modding community that demands flexible, unencumbered platforms.
Verdict: the Elder Scrolls VI launch window will define Bethesda's technological direction. Bethesda's roadmap projects a high-stakes gamble where Elder Scrolls VI's success hinges on balancing proprietary legacy with open-source adoption, AI integration, and robust security, all while maintaining momentum for Fallout and Starfield. The projected consequences are clear. If Elder Scrolls VI ships with a closed ecosystem and minimal AI-assisted tooling, the modding community, increasingly accustomed to open-source flexibility and generative AI, may fragment, reducing long-term engagement.
Conversely, Embracing open source principles for modding APIs and AI for content creation could set a new industry standard, but only if paired with rigorous security against ACE and DMA exploits. The Linux gaming audience, now a non-trivial market via Steam Deck, will scrutinize Bethesda's native support. A failure to optimize for this platform could cede mindshare to competitors.
The strategic next step is a phased rollout to early AI toolkits for Starfield, modest public security audit of the creation engine, and explicit Linux compatibility commitments. Bethesda's roadmap is not merely a schedule, it is a litmus test for how AA studios navigate the convergence of AI, open source, and cybersecurity in the next console generation.